Joining BYU Sports Nation right now is Brian Logan. We like to call him B-Lo.
Brian, what's up, man?
Dude, are you feeling better? We heard you were sick. Are you feeling better?
I'm good now. We got a little crackle in my voice, but I had some medicine these last few days, so I'm ready to go, man. Back on the roster. Put me in, coach.
As you pointed out, the good thing about being sick and having to stay home is you got to watch BYU Sports Nation.
I did, man. Sometimes I go back and I watch, some of the shows, just for some training purposes with Jerem and how we did. But, not really so much with Sports Nation. And I could tell you guys are a pretty handsome couple there. I appreciate that.
I don't even know how to take that. Thank you.
You just turn red and you say thank you.
I just heard couple, so I got weirded out by that.
Well, you guys are couples. You're a couple.
Yeah.
Two.
High five. High five. Let's talk about sports now. Let's make the awkward transition back to the theme of this program. What's your initial reaction to Bronco Mendenhall taking over defensive play calling?
At first I was excited, just because I know what Coach Mendenhall can bring to the table, as far as a defensive coordinator, and talk to some of the guys, some of the players, and how they felt, and they were excited as well. A lot of the feedback was that there's nothing really wrong with Coach Howe and Coach Howe and how he was calling the plays, but some of the younger guys, they know that what Coach Mendenhall has brought to the table before, and how he puts guys in situations to be successful and get to the next level. So they were excited for that as well. But overall, it didn't really surprise me. You look at some of the challenges that they faced defensively. It kind of just made sense for Coach Mendenhall to take it back over.
How do you feel like this will immediately change things as BYU starts through conditioning and spring practice and spring ball? Like, what kind of a difference will this make right now?
Well, I'll tell you this. With Coach Mendenhall, just being in the same room with the guy, you're kind of nervous and scared. You don't even want to blink wrong. You put your head down and you're like, oh, I hope he's not looking at me. So, you have some just extra pressure on you just when he's in your presence. So, what this is going to do is it's going to allow everybody on that defensive side to train harder, want to get better, study some more film, just because that's what Coach Mendenhall demands from you. And so, going into winter conditioning and then going into spring ball, when Coach Mendenhall is around, guys are going to be going that extra mile and working hard. And, hard work leads to success, but with Coach Mendenhall, he wants to make sure that you're doing things off the field as well as on the field. So, off the field right now starts in the weight room, starts with getting some extra film study in. So I would think everything is going to intensify.
I think that some people think that Bronco Mendenhall takes over the defense and they magically get better. How do they actually get better under Bronco Mendenhall on the field, Brian?
Well, I think two things. First thing goes to what I said just previously, just his presence and just what he demands. I mean, he demands perfection from you. And, there is times where, when Coach Mendenhall, when they first took over the defense, it's funny, we call it the takeover. This is going to be the takeover part 2. But when they took over the defense and Coach Howe was the DB coach, he put us through some hard workouts during individual periods, and we hated it. It flat out sucked. And we were going 50% just to save ourselves for the rest of practice. And there are times where we'll be jogging and kind of just laughing around, playing around. And when Coach Mendenhall makes that circle to the DBs, we're like, hey, man, straighten up, he's here. And we're all just going 100%, flying around because that's just what he demands. And so that's the first thing. But two is that Coach Mendenhall, he knows the tools that he has. He knows his players, he knows the strengths, and he knows the weaknesses. Something that I loved, and I'll always share the story. The first day he took over the defense, we came into the room as a defensive group, and he showed about 15 new plays, some from Air Force, some from the Steelers, just of the defense, of the 3-4 defense. And he said, these are the type of plays we're going to start running. There were blitzes, there were cover twos, they were, zone blitzes, a lot more pressures. And he said, these are the type of players that we have. Brian, he's a cover 2 corner. Let's put him in a position to be successful. Brandon Bradley, he's physical on the run, so we're going to have a lot more corner blitzes. Andrew Rich, he's a great alley player. He can come up and stop the run as well. So, we're going to put him in situations where we can really showcase his talent, and it's going to help the team. So with that in mind, it doesn't really matter what type of player you have. He's going to mold the defense and the play calling to what he has on the field, and I think that's why he's so successful.
Brian Logan, defensive back for BYU from 2009 to 2010, and BYUtv football analyst on BYU Sports Nation. Brian, there needs to be some consideration to what BYU lost in terms of NFL talent over the past couple of years. Ziggy Ansah, Kyle Van Noy, Spencer Hadley, Daniel Sorensen, Ethan Manu Maleuna was on an NFL roster at one point. How much of what BYU went through last year should be credited to the fact that they just lost a ton of good players?
I think some of it has to do with the talent that they lost and the leadership that they lost and the experience. But I think at the same time, the coaches are what make a player and what mold a player. There's every kid coming out of high school going to these big time schools. Alabama, Florida, Oregon. I mean, these are all 5-star recruits, but still only a handful of those guys make it to the NFL, and I think it does have to do with coaching. You can have a 5-star kid, a kid that has all the intangibles, height, weight, speed, but if the coach can't bring that ability out, on the field and continue to progress his talent, then it's all for nothing. And so I think a lot has to do with the coaches. And Coach Mendenhall, he prepares you and trains you in a way where you are set up for the next level. I mean, you hear so many different stories of defensive players that played under Coach Mendenhall get to the NFL, and these coaches are blown away. And they're like, wow, you know the defense, you know how to work hard. I mean, I don't have to do anything too much to you. I just got to polish you a little bit and get you to understand, my scheme, my philosophy, and the NFL ways. And, you don't really hear too much of that from other smaller schools, or I say non-P5 schools. Yeah, you hear it from, the LSUs and the Alabamas, but, they're where they're at for that very reason. And so Coach Mendenhall, I think, is in that same conversation, and they're very impressed. So, the coaches have a lot to do with molding and shaping kids to become NFL talents.
Does BYU have on its roster right now enough pieces to where you think they can get back to where they used to be as a defense?
I think so, only because of Coach Mendenhall. I mean, there's so many times, and I'll say this until I'm purple in the face. I mean, if that's possible, I'm brown skinned, but he is so great at what he does. To me, it really doesn't matter the type of talent and the type of player that he has because of how good of a coach he is. And I'm telling you, if you put this guy at UCLA or Alabama, Oregon, I don't care, a top school where he's going to get top talent, I mean, he's going to be in that discussion. He's going to have a top 3 defense every single season. And I'll stand by that. And I only say that because you look at what he's done in his resume in the past. He takes, 2-star guys, walk-ons, JC guys that have no business playing Division I football, and he makes them All-Americans, and he gives them, an opportunity to play in the NFL because of the system and because of how he coaches.
Brian, follow up to that. So if BYU has the pieces next year and they struggle on defense, it's on Coach Mendenhall. Is that what you're saying?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
I think, and the reason why I say that is because at the end of the day, it's the coaches. I mean, the coaches coach and the players play, right? And I don't like that excuse at all. To me, at the end of the day, it's the coach's responsibility to put the product on the field. And so if for whatever reason, if that product isn't producing, that's got to be on the coaches. And it's the coach's job to get that product ready. And that means from, lifting weights to, film study, understanding the defense, the concept, whatever the case is. To me, that falls back on the coach. And so there's some coaches that struggle with that and some coaches that don't. You look at Urban Meyer, he's on his third quarterback. And you would never even think that they would make it this far with a third-string quarterback. But again, it's a coach's responsibility, regardless of what he has, talent level, experience, to make sure that this product is ready to play.
Brian Logan with us on BYU Sports Nation. Certainly that coach-player relationship is a very delicate relationship, and I don't think anybody's overlooking that. Brian, I do want to tell you that you need to clear your schedule for September 5th when we get our first look at the BYU defense.
Countdown to the Cornhuskers.
Yes, I'm definitely
240.
That was a train wreck.
I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try my best. That's actually my anniversary. So
September 5th?
Yep.
240. So we're counting down to Brian Logan's anniversary / the Cornhuskers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's going to be a challenge, man. To watch the game and to work and to go do something special for my wife. I'm planning it right now. I'm already stressful. Getting stressed out.
Well, you've got 240 days to figure it out.
You got to
Brian.
work on your anniversary by BT Dub.
I know, man. I know. Maybe I'll do something nice for her. And I don't know.
We'll give her a front row seat. Yeah, we'll give her a front row seat. We'll make it all great.
We'll get her some pizza
right?
and some cookies.
Free pizza. That's right. Come
Free cookies. See, we're good.
Bring Leighton. We'll party.
Dinner is taken care of. I'm good.
Very good. Hey, Brian, great to talk to you. We'll see you again soon.
All right, fellas. See you soon.